Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to the session. So I believe you all are ready for the session. Let me just quickly share the link of the session in the Telegram group as well, so that other candidates also who are preparing for the PNB LBO, they can join the session, and if they need to ask any doubts or if they have any queries, they can do that in the comment section. So I hope you do already know the purpose of this particular session, as it is quite evidently written in the thumbnail. Here we are going to discuss the PNB LBO syllabus, examination pattern, eligibility, and the entire FNQ, the frequently asked question related to the PNB LBO. So if you are also preparing, if you are also going to give the PNB LBO 2026, so this is a must-watch session for you. Even in the live session, you can put your doubts here in the comment section. After the session also, you can put the doubts if you want. So queries will be answered uh, immediately. Now the session file and the PDF, you will be able to download it from the Oliveboard application. You have to just go to the Oliveboard application and find the YouTube section where the file will be available for all of you. Now, regarding the PNB LBO, that is the local bank officer vacancy, there are nearly 550, nearly approximately 550 vacancies notified by Punjab National Bank. The notification or the, you can say, the PDF was released, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on 20th of July. And the last date basically is 9th of August. Okay, so today we are around 25th of July. You hardly have 2 weeks for filling the forms, arranging all the documents, but you should be aware about all the eligibility criteria, and most importantly, the pattern of the examination, the syllabus of the examination, the marking scheme, and each and every other detail. Okay, so let us start with the session. Firstly, the vacancies are, as I mentioned, nearly 545 vacancies have been notified. Registration started on 20th of July. Today is the 5th date. I have already uploaded a shot on the main channel of Oliveboard regarding the vacancy. And last date, as I have informed, is 9th. Okay. The online test, the tentative date, although it might change also, but the tentative date notified in the brochure or in the PDF is August, September. So the online test is going to happen in that time period. Okay. What are the various stages? The entire selection process is highlighted here in front of you. The first stage is your written test, which include 5 sections from your quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, English is there, okay, na? Computer awareness, you have to do reasoning, computer awareness, and lastly, most importantly, the biggest section is the general awareness, banking awareness, and general economy. I myself do take it. Some of you, I think, are students of paid batches as well. So I do take the general awareness, banking awareness, and the general economy portion. So that is contributing the highest number of marks, the most number of questions, and the highest amount of time that you are going to get is for this particular last 5th section. Okay. One very much important thing is that each section has to be qualified separately. There is a minimum qualifying marks or score for each of these 5 sections, which you have to get. It is not that if you are doing very good in the reasoning portion or in the GA portion or the English portion, if you are not doing very good in the, let's suppose, quant portion, so you'll be selected for the next stage. You have to qualify each and every section separately. That is the must. Second, the document screening will happen. Try to read the entire PDF. We have also uploaded that on the Oliveboard Telegram channel. So try to read it out properly. All the documents should be there. It should properly match. The verification will be done. If at any stage the documents are being found to be incorrect or there is any discrepancy or anomaly, you will be disqualified from the examination. So stage 2 will be about the document screening. All the uploaded data, certificate, etc. will be reviewed. I hope you are aware that you need 1 year, at least 1 year work experience, 1 year work experience in any scheduled bank in India. Okay? Any RRB, any commercial bank, you should be already working. Although I think initially when I read the brochure, it was mentioned that if your work experience is in the NBFCs, that won't be considered. If it is an NBFC, it won't be considered. Okay. Also, if you are an ex-employee of Punjab National Bank, as has been debarred from the services, or you are not in the services, if you are ex-employee of PNB, then also you are not going to be eligible until and unless there is only one exemption, that you have taken the VRS. Individuals who have taken the voluntary, opted for the voluntary resignation or retirement, not resignation, voluntary retirement scheme, Those can definitely sit in the examination. But other than that, most of you, if you are ex-employee of PNB, due to any reason, if you are removed or left, you are not allowed to join back under the LBO vacancy. Acha, one very important factor which often you get confused, that depending upon which state you are filling the form, you should be aware about the native language or the state notified language. State notified language. Okay? So there are two things. If you have already studied that language in 10th or 12th standard, then it is more than enough. It is a qualifying paper, it is more than enough. But if you have not studied the language in 10th or 12th standard, then you will be required to give a language proficiency test, which will be qualifying. So you are exempted from this LPT test only if you have uh, studied the language. It is present in your mark sheet for class 10th or 12th. Okay? And last stage will be your personal interview, which will be of 50 marks. If you qualify that, you will be moving towards your termination of the journey, to the conclusion of your journey rather. Now let us try to see the state-wise vacancy that has been notified and the mandatory language proficiency which is required. So there are 17 different states and UTs which are notified here. States and UTs which are notified here. From Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu to Tripura. There are mostly all these states in Northeast. All the, I think, 8 states of Northeast are there, and the highest number of vacancies from Assam, followed by Tripura. Okay? Talking in general, then the highest number of vacancy is from West Bengal, followed closely by Karnataka and also Gujarat. The languages are also mentioned: Telugu, Gujarati, Kannada. Okay? And in each category, the vacancies is also notified. Okay? Good evening, Bhargavi. Now let us talk about the online written test examination pattern and the syllabus. So just like the last year or every year, the entire question paper will have 5 different sections. First section will be your reasoning and computer aptitude. Second section is your data analysis and interpretation, DI portion. Third is your English language. Fourth is quants, and the last is general awareness, current affair, general economy, banking awareness. Basically, in a nutshell, we call it together as GA, which include banking knowledge, which include current affair, which include general economy portion. And this is the highest. It is the game changer. It is contributing 50 marks and 50 question, and the highest number of time is allocated. So the greatest focus that you have to do is on the general economy, general knowledge, general awareness, banking awareness portion. That is going to be the game changer for you. All the other section are of 25 marks. They are having 25 question. The time is different. In English, you get only 25 minutes. For other sections, you get 35 minutes. Okay? As I have mentioned that there is a sectional cutoff. You need to qualify each and every section separately. If you are very good in, let's suppose, quant, reasoning and general economy GA portion, but you are not that good in DI and quant, if you are not qualifying that, you won't be moving to the next stage. Okay? So total number of question altogether is 150 marks, and you are getting 3 hours for the written examination, the first stage. Now the detailed syllabus is in front of you. From the reasoning section, you have syllogism, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, seating arrangement, data sufficiency arguments, double and triple lineups, puzzles, scheduling, input-output blood relation, code inequalities, alphanumeric series, analogy, assumption statements, ordering, ranking, coding and decoding, blood relation, direction and displacement related question. So reasoning ke andar mein there are a lot of subtopics that are included. Okay? It is quite, you can say, diversified as far as the individual topics are concerned. Along with reasoning, you also have the computer aptitude or the computer awareness, which will include very basic stuff of computer, hardware, software, various type of operating systems, this and that of those operating system, Microsoft product, whether it is a Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. Okay? Shortcut, important keyboards, shortcut, etc., keys, etc. You should be aware of. Internet and networking, different type of network, different type of topology. What is a star topology? What is bus topology? All these things. Cyber security and data protection. Various type of like malware, ransomware, viruses, whether it is Trojan horse or any other. So these things also you are required to thoroughly proceed with. And lastly, the computer hardware and software. Computer hardware and software. So reasoning, computer aptitude together, they are two different categories. They are having so many topics, more than 25 individual topic you have to study, but they are going to give you only 25 marks in the examination. 25 marks examination for all these things together. Okay. Second category, or the second subject or topic will be English language, which will include reading comprehension, sentence rearrangement, error detection, sentence improvement, paragraph completion, closed, test, fill in the blanks, synonyms, ये आपके आएंगे, idioms, phrases, parajumbles, all these things are from the English portion. Okay, it is also contributing 25 marks, but there is a catch. In English, you only get 25 minutes to complete the paper, compared to reasoning and other section, which you are where you are getting 35 minutes to complete the entire paper. For the quants, you have all the things that you have in the other examinations as well: the number system, percentage, simplification, approximation, ratio, proportion, average, time and work, time, speed, distance, profit loss, simple and compound interest, DI, tables, bar graph, etc., probability, and permutation and combination related question. Here also it is of 25 marks again, and you will be getting 35 minutes to solve this entire portion in the quants. Okay. And lastly and most importantly, the portion which is giving you 50 marks, and not only 50 marks, it is giving you 50 questions and also highest amount of time to solve. 50 minutes it is giving per question, 1 minute. Comparatively, this time is quite great. Why? Because usually in the DI portion, in the quant and the reasoning, to solve a question, you might require additional time. But for the GA portion and the banking awareness, general economy, these are factual questions. So for 95% of the question, either you do know the answer or you do not know the answer. If it is asking who has hosted this ceremony, you should be, India has signed an agreement with this particular country related. So either you know about it, you do not know about it. So you do not need one complete minute to solve a GA question. It hardly takes 5 to max 15 seconds, 5 to 15 seconds. So slightly it seems to be unjust that for the quants, for the reasoning, for the DI portion, you are getting just 35 minutes. And here for the GA, you get 50 minutes. And I'm saying this despite being a GA faculty. For the other sections also, you should be comparatively getting better time. But the paper is not divided. You are not going to separately give the general awareness, the banking awareness. All these GA portions are combined together. So current affairs, national, international, state news, those who are in the paid batches, we regularly, for each and every month, we have 2 sessions of national, international, and state related news. And if there is a news which remains undiscussed, we try to cover that in the monthly compilations. All right. Important days and event, static GK. स्टैटिक जीके के अंदर में मोस्टली दीज कंट्रीज, कैपिटल, करेंसी, डिस्कवरी ऑफ environment related question, ecology related question, UN headquarter organization related information, when it was formed, etc., which are the members, permanent members of the UNSC, etc. So static GK में a lot of questions might come. There is a wide spectrum and scope for the static GK portion. In fact, I do not include countries, capital, currencies outside the GA portion, static GA portion. It is part of it. Okay. Science, technology, and defense is missing here. Defense related questions are also part of the examination. Sport awards, honors, and obituaries related questions are also coming in the examination. Important government organization and their headquarters related questions also do form a major chunk. Okay. But mostly you will find that the question from the current affair and the static portion of banking awareness is going to be the highest. So in the banking awareness, we are starting in the paid batch. Our sessions are going to start soon. We are completed with the government scheme portion, and now we will be moving to the banking awareness section. So in banking awareness, you have banking basics. What are the basics of banking? What is a bank? What are these things? So general concepts about banks you will be taught, or you will be facing the questions for them. Next, you are facing the types of bank: scheduled banks, non-scheduled banks. Under scheduled bank, you have the cooperative bank, you have the commercial bank, you have certain specialized banks like the payments bank, like the small finance bank, like the RRBs for that matter. And you also have certain DFIs, that is the development financing bank, like the SIDB, NABARD, EXIM, etc. Okay. So these are questions are usually asked from here. Specifically, the priority sector lending for different categories of bank. For the RRB and the small finance bank, the mandate is quite different from a general commercial bank. Okay. Next is the function of RBI and monetary policy. Who recommended monetary policy? When monetary policy came into being? How many members are there? How many time MPC meets? है ना? So these type of questions also do come. Acha, related to RBI also, you should be familiar with the general facts. You should be familiar with the general facts. For example, who was the first governor of RBI? Who was the first Indian governor of the RBI? Who was the longest serving governor of RBI? Who was the last governor and who is the current governor of Reserve Bank of India? And what is the certain major initiatives, certain major steps which are recently taken by the Reserve Bank of India, whether it is for the mule accounts, whether it is the .bank.in domain, whether it is mulehunter.ai, all these directions and important stuff related to RBI, you should be aware of them. Okay. Next is your financial institution. As I have already mentioned, these are the DFIs. We basically discuss them as part of the types of banks itself. Next is the recent banking development. Basically, the current affairs and the important updates related to the banking sector are discussed here. Mergers of banks, banking technology, etc. है ना? अभी आप देख रहे हो Kotak Mahindra Bank is acquiring a lot of bank, HDFC Bank is taking a lot of stakes. अच्छा, अबू धाबी जो आपका नेशनल बैंक है, that is also taking stakes in a lot of Indian banks. For example, RBL, the Ratnakar Bank Limited, they have taken majority stake in the RBL Bank recently. So these type of acquisitions, mergers, etc., they are also frequently asked. Good evening, Indrajit. Next is the banking product. All the banking product you should be aware about. What are checks, what are different types of checks, what are digital payment option, what are credit card, what are debit card, what are different kinds of ATMs. All these questions also do come in the examination. In fact, these days the focus upon the digital economy and the digital products is quite high as compared to the traditional product. So in the earlier days, checks, ATMs, etc. used to be the priority. What are brown ATMs, what are green ATMs, etc. Nowadays, the focus has shifted to the digital banking product. Products of NPCI, FASTag and other products, IMPS, NEFT, RTGS, UPI, UPI Lite, UPI 123. All these questions have become quite important these days because we are shifting towards a digital based economy. But that does not mean कि check related question you have to ignore. You should be aware about all type of check. What is paid check? What are non-paid checks? You should be aware about them as well. This we have already covered. NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI, etc. UPCI, UPI international के बारे में भी you should know. You should be, there can be current affair questions also. How many countries have seamlessly integrated the UPI into their financial ecosystem? And which is the latest country? These type of question can also come. So banking awareness and the banking current affair, if you merge these things, banking, financial, economic, business, static portion and their current affair, that will contribute the highest number of questions, whether it is your PNB, LBO, or for that matter, most of the banking examination. It will be closely followed by the national, international news and scheme and report related current affairs. All the other things you have to keep as a second priority. That means you have to read them, but the number of revision has to be slightly lesser. For example, the questions are asked to you about, let's suppose, defense, science, technology, sports, obituaries, important days, but their proportion or their frequency will be hardly 25-30% of your other two sections that I have mentioned. So they are lesser priority, but you do not have to ignore them. Just stick to the factual part. Think that what question can be asked. Do not go too technical. Even if in the class we are going into much detail, try to focus upon only the factual part. Okay. Banking terminologies are also often asked. CRR, SLR, repo rate, reverse repo rate, all these things are asked to you. SDF facility, all these things are being asked. Indrajit is asking, is PNB LBO 26 new batch will come to Oliveboard? Indrajit, yes, we are already in discussions and probably it will be notified in a couple of days. For the PNB LBO, we are already planning that. SBI CBO we have launched, NICL we have launched. Apart from that, I think IBPS we have also launched, SBI CBO also we are launching, and PNB LBO is also going to turn out quite soon. Chaliye. Now the economy awareness or general awareness portion, which will focus on the Indian economy basic, various type of jargons and terminologies. What is GDP? What is inflation? Inflation के ऊपर types of question, like for example, earlier the focus was not on shrinkflation, stagflation, ठीक है ना? But these type of terminologies are also now being asked, which were not traditionally taught in the till when we were basically preparing for the examination. So these questions were not hardly found. So now these questions are also coming. What is deflation? So various type of inflation, GDP, basics of GDP, various offset of GDP. Union budget may not the entire budget and economic survey, only the highlights and the important parts, the most important parts, which we basically cover in the YouTube session at times, and in the paid batches, so we regularly do that. Fiscal and the monetary policy, what are the control measures, etc. What actions the government and the RBI takes. Government scheme, we separately discuss government scheme in a current affairs session. Financial inclusion scheme, a lot of scheme. I think today by 25th, 24th of July, I have already completed 15 to 16 government sessions, government scheme session, and each session usually has 3 to 4 schemes. So by now we have already covered 50 plus government scheme. Certain schemes like Mudra Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Surya Ghar Bijli Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, all these are certain important schemes. So you should be aware about their criteria, when they were being launched, and their important information. All that you should be familiar with. Important economy and welfare program, international economy related information, reports of IMF, World Bank, WTO, and global economic trends as well. Apart from that, various sectors of the economy which is not mentioned here, that is also being asked. Primary sector, secondary sector, number of individuals, the challenges, etc. The schemes related to the primary, secondary sector, whether it is Namo Drone Didi, which is for the agriculture sector, which is a welfare, come women empowerment, come agriculture sector scheme. So these can be linked together for the general economy portion. So this was about the entire syllabus. We have discussed all the syllabus for the LBO, the time period, the timeline, total marks, how many questions, and the language which is required. I have mentioned that you should be, either you should have studied the language in your 10th or 12th of that specific state, or either you have to give a language proficiency test. If you have studied, if your mark sheet is showing that you have studied the state's language in 10th or 12th standard, then you are not required to give the language proficiency test. But if you have not, if your mark sheet is not showing that, you are required to give the language proficiency test, which is qualifying in nature. Okay, qualifying in nature. Chaliye. The PDF will be available on the Oliveboard channel. Now let us quickly move to the other details about the PNB LBO. There is a negative marking also. So do not try to play around the questions. Ki, I do not know, I am not sure, I am 90% sure, 10% not sure. Try to tick mark a question after the adjusted risk metric. If you think that yes, I should take risk with this particular question, I am ready to face this question, then only do that, because there is a negative marking. 0.25 marks are going to be deducted for each incorrect option. Sectional cutoff, I have already mentioned that there is a sectional cutoff. All the 5 sections have their own sectional cutoff. Interview ke liye, it is quite later development. Abhi to we are giving the written examination, but for interview, 50 marks are required. For the reserve category, the things are different. We are not going into reserve category. We are only talking about the general category currently. In the detailed brochure and here also in the slide, it is all mentioned. It is all mentioned. Okay. Merit will be prepared after combining the written test, your personal interview, and the requirement of LPT. If you are required for the LPT, that will be also taken into consideration. Okay. Minimum maximum age, everybody knows that you 20 to 30 year is the requirement. Acha, your degree, your graduation degree should be with you, or the mark sheet should be released before 9th of August. 9th of August. And even there is a work time period that is required, your work experience. So the required work experience also, you should be fulfilling that before 9th of August. Okay, before 9th of August, or on or before 9th of August. Okay. So if your result for that matter or mark sheet for somebody releases on 10th of August, then you probably won't be eligible for the examination. Chaliye. Relaxation is given here for the different categories. We have only discussed about the general category because in reservation and other categories, we have to take a longer time period. So I'm not going into that much detail. As I mentioned, graduation is required here. It should be required. Then minimum 1 year of post qualification experience is required in clerical or officer grade in any scheduled commercial bank or RRB. Scheduled commercial bank or RRB, है ना? Somewhere I was reading, probably if you have work experience in the NBFC, you won't be eligible. Secondly, if you are ex-PNB employee and has quit the services, or you have been removed from the services due to any reason, you are not eligible to apply for the LBO. Okay? not eligible. Barring there is an exception which I have mentioned in the beginning. If you have taken VRS, voluntary resignation, sorry, voluntary retirement, if you have taken, that is the exception. You can give the LBO in that case. Otherwise, you cannot give. Otherwise, you cannot give. ठीक है. Acha, in the language proficiency test, reading, writing, speaking, everything will be checked, and minimum marks or you have to qualify. ठीक है. Any other details which we should discuss here? Category, experience proof, identity documents are mentioned here. Which documents do you require? We have already made a separate detailed video on the main channel regarding the documents which are required, so I'm not going to discuss it again. All the documents are required are also given on the examination notification PDF as well. Okay. Your probation period after joining the services, the service indemnity bond, there is a bond of 2 lakh rupees, and the CIBIL score is also required. Minimum CIBIL score of 680 plus is required at the joining time, at the time of the joining. So that is something you have to keep in consideration. Okay. Examination fees is not relevant. Most of you already know it. For the reserve category and for the general category, this is the fee amount that you are required to pay. So with this, we reach to the end. Now, if there are any questions which you are willing to ask, you may ask that here in the comment section. Let me move to the first slide. Thank you, sir, for replying. Already enrolled in the Banking Plus Insurance Mahapack, waiting for the new batch. All right, Indrajit, we'll love to see you all in the batches. So one question: if person belongs from SC category, but if cleared the general cutoff and interview, should he consider as UR? I did not exactly get the question, Indrajit. If you are in the SC category, if you are qualifying that marks, you are already going to be selected. If your marks is above the cutoff of UR, then definitely that will be mandated. That will be mandated there. Okay. Chaliye. Any other question? I'll tell you my personal IDs also. If you have any other question or doubts, you can reach out to me after the session. Utkarsh Singh _ here. Everything is in a small letter. This is my Instagram ID. And on Telegram also you can reach out to me. You have to find my username. This is not a channel or a group. It is Utkarsh Singh 01. This is my user ID. You have to search in the Telegram. Acha, apart from that, you are also required. You can also join the Banking G and Current Affair Oliveboard channel if you have already not joined the channel, because a lot of students like you who are giving NISL examination, SBI CBO, they are there. I have received few messages yesterday in midnight. A lot of messages who have selected or who have qualified the interview for the SBI CBO. So if anybody is watching, they have qualified. Congrats to you all. Okay. So you can join this particular group because here you are able to discuss among yourself. If I am not free, if I am not able to give the answer due to the classes, you can easily discuss with your peer group members who are also preparing and giving the examination. So you can scan this QR code and join the Banking GA Current Affair Oliveboard channel. It is open for communication. It is not closed. Everybody can talk here or discuss here. Chaliye. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take care. If anybody is watching this session in recording, they have any query or doubt, they can leave that in the comment section. PDF of this particular session you will be able to download from the Oliveboard application from the YouTube section. If you are not able to find it out, do comment in the chat box. Somebody from the technical team will guide you through. Goodbye. Take care. All the best for your preparation. Do not forget to apply before 9th of August, the deadline.